What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. Last time, we ended off right before the battle started with Frieza. While Gohan escorted Dende to heal Goku and Krillin, Vegeta and Nappa have teamed up with Tenshinhan and Yamcha, because now Frieza's heading towards them ready to fight. Thankfully, a new hope has arrived on planet Namek, that being Piccolo, whose training is completed and he has now finally been revived. After fusing with Nail, he joins Goku and Krillin, heading off to find the others in order to face Frieza alongside them. For this video, let's set a goal of 2,500 likes, and if we hit that, we'll continue this series with another part. And without further ado, let's finish off the Namek saga. I do want to give a brief disclaimer. Without spoiling anything right now, all I'm going to say is watch this till the very end, because there is a huge plot point that I don't want you guys to miss. Something that isn't really as it seems at first. So we left off with Frieza pursuing the group, and he finally arrives. Understandably, he's pretty pissed right now, and he's more than ready to fight the four of them that he's facing here. He's actually suppressing himself right here like normal, and the group of four is able to pick up on that. Vegeta tells the group that they should try and draw the fight out as long as normal, because if they do so, it'll buy them a lot of time and then more allies can arrive. Frieza is definitely suppressed right now, and they should be able to drag this on for a bit. A 1v4 begins, Frieza versus Tenshinhan, Yamcha, Vegeta, and Nappa. Similar to Frieza, the two Earthlings feign their weakness, hoping to draw the fight out for as long as they can. My, these guys are pretty strong. Although he is only in his first form, them being able to keep up with him is pretty huge, and he commends them for it. But after he gets a little bit bored, he decides to turn up the heat, and goes into his second form. The group continues to pretend like they're struggling, well, particularly the two Earthlings, because Vegeta and Nappa kinda are struggling here. And Frieza actually thinks he has the upper hand. In his second form, he tries to land a finishing blow, but everyone powers up further, showing some more of their true potential. And it seems Frieza's second form isn't able to do anything to them. What are these guys? Are they pretending to be weak, or are they some weird mutants that get stronger during their fights? No big deal though, he goes into his third form, and it's a similar story here too. Frieza now knows that they're mocking him, but as for Vegeta and Nappa, he knows that they're not too big of a threat. Even when Nappa's in Grade 8, there's not really too much to be worried about. Knowing that these two are weaker, Frieza launches 2 attacks towards them, hoping to kill them in one shot. He fires a laser at each of them, throwing up a massive cloud of dust. When the dust disappears, 2 people are revealed behind each explosion, Goku and Krillin. Not far behind them, Gohan, Dende, and Piccolo descend from the sky. The plan worked, and backup has finally arrived. Frieza is furious, and he decides that he's not going to play around anymore or hold back. Well, he still is going to hold back a bit. You know, the whole 50% power and everything. But disregarding that, he goes into his final form, showing off what appears to be his true full power. Everyone powers up further and begins fighting Frieza at full force. They're able to defend pretty well against him, but in terms of attacking, it doesn't seem like they're doing too much damage. When Piccolo powers up with Kaioken, he is able to get some really good hits in. Thankfully, he was much more dedicated to training with King Kai here, allowing him to unlock Kaioken and some other abilities. And that gets him thinking. Piccolo tells the group that he has a big plan, and it should be able to work, but he needs everyone to buy him some time and face Frieza alone. They give him a nod of approval as Piccolo hangs back. Piccolo calms himself and becomes tranquil, lifting his arms up into the air. King Kai has taught Piccolo the Spirit Bomb, as Piccolo gets in contact with the Lord of Worlds. He knows this is a dangerous technique, and it should only be used as a last resort, but this is exactly the time to use it. Concerned about how destructive this will be, he asks King Kai, who says it should be enough to take on Frieza if he charges it long enough. Well, in theory at least, but it is at least worth a shot. He thanks King Kai and begins charging a Spirit Bomb. Frieza is distracted as he faces everyone, and collectively, they are able to hold him off, but they're very disadvantaged as he increases his power further. Piccolo is charging the bomb, and it's growing right now without Frieza even knowing. It grows larger and larger, but it doesn't seem like it's enough yet. Telepathically, Piccolo gets into everyone's heads and tells them to lend their energy. Frieza is confused because everyone starts fighting with one arm in the air, and they're all seeming to get weaker as the fight goes on. They're giving their energy to Piccolo, who puts it towards the Spirit Bomb as it grows exponentially larger. They begin losing their fight, but Piccolo says it's ready, and he launches it. At that moment, Frieza notices that Piccolo is not in the fight right now. He was too preoccupied with everyone else. And then, he looks up and sees it, a massive Spirit Bomb heading right towards him. This is nothing. He feels he can hold it. He tries to push it back, but it pushes him back farther and farther. Frieza suddenly begins pushing more, but Piccolo counters by going Kaioken times 20 and pushing it himself. They struggle, but then they get some help from the sidelines. Krillin has a perfect idea to distract him. He launches a Destructo Disc, and Frieza has no choice but to dodge it, which puts him off guard and gets the Spirit Bomb closer towards him. Angered by this interference, Frieza looks towards Krillin, who also then launches a Solar Flare. This distracts him as the bomb pushes further into him, and Frieza even tries to go full power, but the group doesn't give him a chance. It's kind of a Hail Mary, but Tenshinhan uses the Mafuba on Frieza, not in order to contain him, but to throw him directly into the bomb. It will be very draining on Tenshinhan to do this, but this could help them greatly. Frieza is dragged right into the center of the bomb, unable to resist, as Piccolo pushes further. As a group, everyone then charges a beam, launching it towards the bomb, sending it flying into space. The bomb is pushed away from Namek, where it creates a massive explosion, illuminating the planet in a blue light. Thankfully, Namek is saved, with no sign of Frieza anywhere. He's actually dead this time, and with the planet intact, everyone can leave peacefully. But there is still one thing they need to do. On Earth, Kami has the Dragon Balls, and he wishes to revive all of the Namekians that died, including Guru. Temporarily, this brings back Porunga, which they didn't even expect to happen so soon. And this is perfect too, because all I need right now is to wish Chaozu back to life, and then everything will be complete. They revive Chaozu, and now all their friends are back, and Namek is saved. The Namekians thank everyone as they depart for Earth. The thing is right now, Nappa and Vegeta are kind of an odd spot. They don't really know where to go or what to do, but the group doesn't really see them as trouble. If anything, they could easily defeat them if they need. And although the ship is a little cramped, Nappa and Vegeta join on a trip to Earth. The two of them are actually convinced that Goku is a Super Saiyan, which is weird because he's not even the strongest here right now. That would be Piccolo. But regardless, they want to try and surpass Kakarot now, and their goal is to get stronger. Everyone does keep an eye on these two, but like I mentioned, they shouldn't really cause any trouble. They arrive on Earth, and things try to return back to normal. Vegeta doesn't really have a hate boner for Goku here, but he does still want to try and surpass him. Here, he really sticks around with Nappa, and they begin warming up to the Earthlings and Kakarot. The two of them train together, trying to get as strong as possible. Oh yeah, and Vegeta does get with Bulma here too. Thankfully, it seems very peaceful on Earth right now. There's not going to be future Trunks here for reasons that I'll mention later, and as for King Cold, he can't find Earth and doesn't know who killed Frieza. And since Frieza's dead, there's no Mecha Frieza. Maybe he'll come into play later, but as of now, King Cold is an issue, and even later on he'll probably be overpowered by everyone. Goten is also born earlier on, since it is a time of peace. But then, something tragic happens. Goku dies of a heart virus. It happens so suddenly and there's no cure for it, and it seems he's gone for good. What's even worse is that a new threat is about to arrive on Earth, the androids, unbeknownst to everyone else. There's nothing that could be done because Goku died of natural causes. Everyone is stunned. After Goku's death, basically as Gohan and Goten's uncle, Krillin steps in and wants to try and help raise them, both to help Chi-Chi and to train them, similar to how he and Goku were training. Roshi even joins in. Ever since the Saiyan saga, he has been training. And even before Goku died, he didn't stop. And of course the other humans join in as well. Vegeta and Nappa stay somewhat secluded, keeping mainly to themselves except for when Vegeta is with Bulma. Soon after, a city is attacked by two unknown assailants, androids 17 and 18. Everything is destroyed, as they go city to city decimating anyone that's there. Naturally, this leads to an encounter with the Dragon Team, where they try and take on the androids, only leading to their failure. In their first fight alone, the androids take out Yamcha, Tenshinhan, Piccolo, and Chaozu. Some of the people closest to the team, including two of the strongest fighters, are now dead. This leaves Krillin, Vegeta, Nappa, Gohan, and Roshi, alongside Goten I guess, but he's still a kid right now. Saddened by the loss of their friends, they all go into hiding trying to train. But this is only a temporary solution. Eventually, they do encounter the androids again, and everyone feels that there's no escape this time. They were planning on escaping to Namek to try and get the Dragon Balls again, but the androids were able to find everyone and destroy their ship, forcing them to constantly be on the move without any of the resources they need. And this battle is particularly devastating. The group wants to find a way out, but they can't. Vegeta then suddenly tells everyone to leave, saying he'll take on the androids himself. There's no way he can't. He must have some sort of death wish. As the androids draw closer, he tells them to leave now, and that he's not coming with them. Vegeta begins charging up, and Nappa is terrified because he feels like he knows what Vegeta is about to do. Everyone departs as the androids get closer, with Vegeta acting as bait. 17 and 18 see Vegeta and try and fight him alone, and it's pretty easy for them. But while they fight him, they notice something. He's glowing. To himself, he says his goodbyes to everyone, then self-destructing with the androids right next to him. Even if this doesn't kill the androids, at least it'll allow everyone to escape. Far away, the last members of the Dragon Team watch as the city is destroyed, leveled by one massive blast. This actually does do some bad damage to 17 and 18, and they assume that everyone else was in the city and they're dead as well. Partially injured and now feeling bored, the androids depart. The group tries to hold Nappa back, but he flies into the city, and it seems that the androids have left. They keep their distance as Nappa heads in, hoping that he's able to get out alive and that the androids aren't actually there. and then he sees the crater. Right in the center, Vegeta's there, turned into stone. Vegeta has self-destructed and he's now dead as well. Angered at the loss of his only friend, this sets Nappa off the edge, causing him to go Super Saiyan. Angered and confused right now, he doesn't know what just happened. But after briefly calming down, he feels like he knows what happened. He turned into a Super Saiyan. He promises Vegeta that with this newfound power, he'll defeat the androids. The form disappears as Nappa tries to get it again. Feeling defeated and saddened, he returns to the group. More time passes. Bulma gives birth to Trunks not long after Vegeta's death. Too bad Vegeta wasn't around to see this. And over this time, Nappa has been training Gohan, seeing him as the only other person right now who may be able to turn into a Super Saiyan, assuming that this is what a Super Saiyan is. Krillin trained with them as well, as Bulma begins working on 2 projects. After some thinking, she decided that it might not be a good idea for them to go to Namek. For all she knows, while they're gone, the androids could blow up Earth. But her main fear is that Vegeta mentioned that Frieza has a father out there somewhere, and Namek might be target number 1 for him. But really the biggest reason now is that she can't seem to find Namek. After the whole Frieza thing, the Namekians actually wish for their planet to be moved somewhere else, so it couldn't be located by anyone. King Kai might be able to find it, but they have no way of contacting him right now. So they can't find Namek, and even if they could, it would be too dangerous of a trip. But Bulma does have a safer solution. Her plan is to make medicine and have everyone go back in time to try and heal Goku, as well as warning everyone about the androids. Everyone trains and years pass, but they haven't made much progress. Surprisingly, Nappa has grown a soft spot for Krillin and has warmed up to Gohan. And by this point, Gohan is Super Saiyan. But it's still too risky to fight the androids right now. Without proper resources or opportunities, their training is seeing diminishing gains. Goten has grown old enough to join the training, with Trunks still being a kid, but wanting to train as well. Although he's kept out of it briefly because they don't want him to try and face the androids too. They have to keep moving locations so Bulma can keep working on the time machine, and this leads to another encounter with the androids eventually. Gohan, Nappa, and Krillin go to fight the androids one day, telling Goten to stay back even though he does want to join and help. As long as they can protect Bulma so she can move the time machine somewhere else, even if someone dies here, at least they can go back to the past and restore stuff. In battle, Nappa ends up falling. Not dead, but injured and unconscious. This angers Gohan as he himself tries to fight the androids. He needs to protect Nappa at all costs, because as long as they can get him back to Capsule Corp, he can be healed. On the outskirts of the city, Goten is with Trunks, and Goten tells Trunks that he wants to join the battle. He feels like he's useless right now, and wants to help Gohan and everyone else. He's here right now protecting Trunks, but then he tells Trunks to go back to his mother, because Goten wants to go into the city to help, leaving Trunks on a whim as he heads in. Goten arrives in the city and finds Nappa. Nappa is now barely conscious, but he sees Goten, and he tells Goten to get out of here right now. Goten then sees Krillin, and Krillin tells him the same thing. Although Krillin is pretty badly beaten, Goten wants to know where Gohan is, and since he doesn't see him with Nappa and Krillin, he gets worried. Against Krillin and Nappa's orders, he heads into where Gohan is. He then sees the androids preparing to land a finishing blow on Gohan, as Krillin and Nappa try to escape, desperately trying to convince Goten to come along with them. Goten just wants to help his brother. This is dangerous, but he's not thinking rationally right now. Gohan sees Goten and weakly tells him to get out of there, and this alerts the androids. Wanting to mess with Gohan, the 2 androids launch a blast at Goten, seemingly killing him. Gohan sees this and his mind goes blank, and he completely snaps. He frees himself from the androids and goes over to Goten, assuming he's dead. Gohan loses all sense of rationality he has and he explodes with anger, going beyond Super Saiyan even. He fights the androids with all his power. They deal some good damage to him, but he does as well in return. In his anger, Gohan is able to kill 18 by focusing all of his power on attacking her. But the thing is, Gohan can't keep this up. He's running out of energy and he's heavily injured as well. He's surprised he was actually able to defeat 18, but 17 is still there, and he's the stronger of the 2. He then goes for 17, badly injuring the android as the 2 are in a death match. 17 makes a remark. Too bad that Gohan doesn't have infinite energy. While 17 is injured, he can still fight. And angered by the death of 18, he charges a massively powerful blast, piercing right through Gohan's chest, killing him. In his rage, 17 tries to find the other fighters and finish them off, but it seems that everyone's gone. Krillin evacuated them. 17 is bloodlusted, and he's out to kill everyone else because they killed 18. But the thing is, he's in bad shape himself. How did Gohan get that strong to hurt him and kill 18? No matter though, because he's dead. 17 retreats, as does the Dragon Team, who is now in hiding. At their new location, Goten wakes up, barely alive but hooked up to machines. Nappa is near him and he calls for Bulma. Bulma, Krillin, and Trunks walk in, seeing that Goten has finally regained consciousness. Although it's tough, they try to tell Goten what happened. Goten was lucky to be alive. He's scarred up and injured right now, even missing an arm. They tell him that apparently one of the androids did die thanks to Gohan, and Goten's been unconscious for a few weeks. They tell him about what happened to Gohan, and Goten starts bawling, feeling that Gohan's death was his fault. The entire room around them starts shaking as all the equipment hooked up to Goten begins getting flung away. Out of sadness, in his hospital bed, Goten goes Super Saiyan himself, but due to him still being weak, he immediately returns to being unconscious, placed back into care. Without him, Gohan would have actually died regardless, and although it was irresponsible for him to head into the city, he indirectly helped kill Android 18. And it taught the group something that Nappa noted. There's a level beyond Super Saiyan, which they could possibly train for. And on top of that, Bulma was successfully able to relocate, and now the time machine is finished. Nappa does wish he could have done more to save Gohan, and he's pretty saddened by it too. But Krillin, as his uncle, feels the most guilt. He tells Bulma that he wants to be the one to head back in time, wanting to fix all of this. Maybe they'll actually be able to bring everyone back to life. Goten remains unconscious, and Nappa is still left to heal, although he's in a better shape than Goten and is conscious. With all of this going on, Krillin hops into the time machine and gets ready to head to the past. This whole episode has been covering the future timeline, which is what I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I know it's a little bit of a bait and switch, but the future timeline did need some covering of its own. So yeah, everything that I covered here actually wasn't from the present timeline, it was all from the future. So for part 5, we'll be rewinding a bit, around to the point where everyone got back from Namek. And while they seemingly have a period of peace, they're about to get a new visitor, future Krillin. This is where we'll leave off for now. So what did you guys think about this part? What do you think will happen next time? Will Krillin, Goten, and Nappa be able to save the future? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.